Hey, Jeff, aka Piewacket here from Vance Street Music. You can check out my music on vancestreetmusic.com. I've been licensing music since 2015. Actually started writing for TV in 2013. Had no idea what I was doing. Joined Taxi. Was doing some garage rock at the time. Was contacted by a library in LA through Taxi for a few of my songs. I think I signed originally maybe 6 or 7 songs with this library. And they were pitching the songs to Shameless, which I had no idea that's what they were doing. Got an email from the library owner saying that they love the stuff and they're going to put it in season 5 and 6. And I was actually in the last episode of season 5 and a few of them in season 6. And this particular song here, called Take a Stand, was one that ended up I think it was twice in season 6. And one of the placements was over the ending credits of an episode, which was really, really, give me 1,000 of those, please. And if I look at my ASCAP account and they give you statements of what they pay for you, this was in 2015. In 2023, it's still my number 1 or number 2 highest amount paid after all these years, because it was just such a great spot for it. So I figured I would show you the session, what I did back then, and I ended up getting onto that show again, their last season, which I believe was 11. I think it was season 11. Not 100% positive on that. And that was 3 more placements. There was a total of 10 placements on that show, which was great. I'm going to show you this session here, which was one of the earlier sessions, and then I'm going to do another video on one of the later songs that I did and how they changed over the course of, I forget when their last season was, maybe 2021? I forget. Anyway, this particular session here, when I opened it up, is kind of funny because it's 82 tracks long, which I don't really do anymore. A tremendous amount of it was background vocals, where I would record 4 high vocals, 4 harmony vocals, 4 on vocals, and then 4 bass vocals. And I would automate some of them, so everything was recorded live. There was no virtual instruments at all, so there was 20 tracks of guitars just to get this thing to sound full. And I actually don't even think I had a working amp at the time. I think this was all through a Sans amp, if memory serves me correctly. But anyway, I'm going to play a little bit of it, and then we'll go through it. Not track by track. There's 82 tracks. I don't feel like making this video 3 hours. I'm going to do section by section, so you kind of see what I can do. And then, you may be able to incorporate some of this into what you're doing today. So let's listen to some of it. So that's basically it. It's garage rock. I think they were looking for something that was like Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. I really don't think that this is spot on, but it's certainly garage rock. I have to put my earphones on real quick because I actually can't hear the session to go over these tracks. So I'm going to put the earphones on. And let's take a look at these guitars. Again, at the time, I don't even remember if I had an amp that was working. I have a bunch of amps now that way. But I didn't have them at the time. So I think this is all through a Sans amp. And if I isolate these guitars with the bass, and I see that there's a drop D bass. So at the time I was doing drop D bass as well. But let me solo all these and just kind of put it out here someplace and listen to what we're doing. So those transitions of all those guitars, one of them is definitely an octave. One of them is a harmony. I very rarely do a harmony guitar today. But I feel like I was probably referencing this against something else, and in order to get the sound as big as it is, I probably needed to have a lot of different tracks and a lot of different transitions in there. And then, of course, the bass and the drop D bass. And it looks like the drop D bass is doing exactly the same thing as some of these guitars where it's a transition, giving you a low end. I recorded the drums live, and I still do, actually. That has not changed. Let's listen to these drums real quick. So I don't, I do more with the drums today, but this particular setup was kick and snare using Slate Digital Trigger. And these are, the setting that I use is the Led Zeppelin setting. I have Led Zeppelin kick and Led Zeppelin snare in there. I don't remember the specific one because there's probably, I don't know, maybe six of them each. But the setup really hasn't changed all that much. I had one 414 back in the day, so I used it as a room mic, which is here. And I used two different mics on the overhead left and right. They were some type of Shure microphones. But since I have a second 414, say that 10 times fast, today, I put two of them over the set for a stereo image. This is accents, I'm sure. This looks like the bridge and probably, again, the same setup. Two over the set, one room mic. Yeah, so those are just accents for the middle. The hand claps are done individually, and the way that I do the hand claps, if I can just click this in here and find them, here they are, is I will record 4 of them individually. I actually don't copy and paste these, which is, I wouldn't do it today, folks, that's for sure. I did these each individually, the entire track. You want to listen to them here. And the reason why you can hear bleeding in those channels, it's not because of the earphones. It's because I'm using this console shaper back then. I had this, I don't use this anymore, but I had this thing. It comes with Personas, and it's supposed to emulate something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's supposed to emulate. Maybe somebody can tell me in the comments. Did the hand snaps the same way in the bridge. Tambourine is recorded live. And then we have all these backing vocals, and you can see that they're automated. Again, 4 high, 4 harmony, 4 on, and 4 low. And you can see the automation as I press play here. I think I was just doing that to push the song ahead. I don't know. Here's her main vocal. I co-wrote this song with a woman named Lori, who's very talented, great voice for this genre of music. And so she has a vocal track here, and I doubled it up for the choruses, and then she put 4 backing vocals in to herself. And I forget what part that is. Let's see. Get on your box, stop and take off. So she does it there. Then I did another 16 tracks behind her in the chorus, so let's listen to that. Take a stand, 'cause I need you to be the man. Can't hold on to this with one hand, so you gotta take a stand. So those are just accents that I put behind her to make the song bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't remember what the reference track was on this. I know I used one, but I can't remember what it was. I just remember, this is a long time ago, so my memory's not as good as it used to be, but I just remember the reference track being so big sounding. I just kept adding things and ended up with 82 tracks. It's 81 because there's some kind of time and guitar here that gets us started. There is no virtual instruments, and I didn't quantize anything back then, which is super unique to production music. I'm not even so sure this song would make it today because it's really loosey-goosey. but back then, it was a perfect fit for what they were looking for. So I just want to show you one of these sessions. I'm actually going to make another video, like I said in the beginning of this video, of a later session that I co-wrote with a very talented Canadian named Bamtone, and I can, I'll give you links to his webpage. He's absolutely amazing, and I'll also do a link to my webpage here as well. So I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much.